Greetings, Poké fans! Michael here, and today I am here to tell you what is probably one of the craziest Pokemon stories that you have ever heard. And every single bit of it is true. Well, true as in canonical. Obviously, this didn't happen in real life, but every bit of it is from official Pokemon material. This story comes to us from the Pokemon Adventures manga, Volume 3, an ongoing story with some really crazy stuff that happens in it. Zapmolcuno is one of the first, if not the first, ever official instances of Pokemon fusion. As you have probably figured out, it is a combination of the three legendary birds, Zapdos, Moltres, and Articuno, thus the name Zapmolcuno. However, I should clarify though, that the name Zapmolcuno is actually not an official name. In the English translation of the manga, the creature is never given a name. However, in the Japanese translation of the manga, it is referred to as the Fire, the first half of Zapdos and Moltres' Japanese names, Thunder and Fire, and the second half of Articuno's Japanese name, Freezer. And yes, those are the actual names. Several years ago, Coronis of Cerebi.net coined the name Zapmolcuno, taking the same portions of each of the birds' names and combining them together. The first part of Zapdos and Moltres' names, and the second part of Articuno's name. Before we dive into the story though, I should introduce the main characters of the Pokemon Adventures manga in this particular saga. The protagonist is Red, a boy journeying around Kanto in an attempt to acquire all of the gym badges, like basically every other incarnation of Red. Blue is his rival, and Green is also a big part of this story. She is a Pokemon trainer, but also a thief. Earlier in the saga, she actually stole Red's Boulder and Cascade badges from him before eventually giving them back. Team Rocket is also, of course, a big factor in this story as well. An interesting difference in the Adventures manga from most incarnations of Team Rocket is that the admins are gym leaders, Lieutenant Surge, Koga, and Sabrina. They have pulled off some not so savory things prior to this story, such as experimenting on an Eevee in an attempt to make it so it can transform into all three evolutions, capturing the three legendary birds in not so nice ways, and the primary impetus for this particular conflict, kidnapping Professor Oak and all of the townspeople of Pallet Town. When Red arrives at Oak's lab to discover that the kidnapping has occurred, Sabrina attacks and tells them that if he wants to save them, he has to come to Saffron City. Blue arrives shortly afterward, and the two head off to rescue everyone. They bust into, of course, Silphco, Team Rocket's stronghold, and Green sneaks in behind them. Red and Blue get separated, ending up with Red getting attacked by Lieutenant Surge and Zapdos, while Blue is attacked by Koga and Articuno. Red defeats Lieutenant Surge by using Ivysaur's Razor Leaf to cut Lieutenant Surge's electricity-proof clothes, so he ends up shocking himself into unconsciousness, then swipes the Thunder Badge off of his unconscious body. You don't see that kind of craziness in the Pokemon anime. Red then meets back up with Blue, and the two of them are able to defeat Koga together. Red and Blue separate again, with Blue headed off to the basement to find Professor Oak, and Red heading elsewhere to locate the townspeople. Meanwhile, Green is locked in conflict with Sabrina, who has put her into a hallucination and stolen her Pokeballs with Kadabra. However, Green is able to escape by revealing that she had Pokeballs hidden here. Yeah, seriously. Side note, in the English translation of the manga, this panel is actually censored and just shows Green saying gotcha. And then her Jigglypuff and Clefairy are just there. Doesn't make any sense at all. Green then uses her Jigglypuff's Sing and Clefairy's Growl to disorient Sabrina, freeing Green from the hallucination and allowing her to steal the Marsh Badge off of Sabrina before fleeing. Elsewhere in the building, Red ends up stumbling upon a device with 7 slots in it shaped like the badges. Yes, just 7. Apparently the Earth Badge is not relevant in this story. I think it comes into play later, but at this point, it basically just doesn't exist. While investigating it, Sabrina enters the room, but it actually turns out to just be Green using her Ditto to disguise herself. Green tells Red that the device is a badge energy amplifier, something that Team Rocket has developed that can be used to amplify the power of a Pokemon. But the lie detector test determined that this was a lie. The true purpose of the badge energy amplifier is to create a brand new Pokemon, which was the entire purpose of Green entering Silph in the first place. She wanted to get this device, use it to create the new Pokemon, and then use that new Pokemon for herself. And I guess she didn't want to share that with Red, so she lied to him. Green offers to trade the Marsh badge that she took from Sabrina for Red's Moonstone, thus allowing Red to have all 7 badges, which he accepts. Suddenly, the real Sabrina attacks. Red attempts to use the badge energy amplifier, but like when you bring a date back to your room but your roommate is still there, nothing happens. Sabrina attacks, and during the chaos, Green steals the badge energy amplifier, revealing that the Boulder and Cascade badges that she returned to Red all that time ago were actually fake, and that she still has the real badges. She runs out of the room while Sabrina sends out Moltres, then summons Articuno and Zapdos using Kadabra's teleport. Outside the room, Green activates the badge energy amplifier, which sends a ball of energy back into the room at the 3 birds. They then fuse together, creating, of course, Zapmolcuno. Upon seeing it, Green faints. Sabrina then reveals that Team Rocket intentionally lured Red here by kidnapping Professor Oak and the townspeople because they needed his gym badges, since they had failed to get them from the not evil gym leaders before. However, now that all the gym badges are here and they've created Zapmolcuno, they can get rid of him permanently by killing him to death. Zapmolcuno attacks, but Blue suddenly intervenes with his Charizard, revealing that he has rescued Professor Oak and the townspeople, so all that's left to do is take Sabrina down. Unfortunately, their attacks to Zapmolcuno do nothing. The creature is basically unstoppable. Red thinks quickly, taking the Moonstone from Green and evolving her Clefairy into Clefable. I don't know why he thought that suddenly having a Clefable would save the day, but that's what he did. Clefable uses Metronome, which becomes Quick Attack, and actually manages to land some decent hits on Zapmolcuno. Unfortunately, it ends up only being a short distraction. Zapmolcuno fires a powerful blast, launching all 3 kids from the building, presumably to their death. However, Red's Ivysaur acted fast and created a web of vines to catch them and save their lives. Where and how is this web attached? Because it seems like it's only attached to one side of the building? I don't know. Green has also woken up, so the 3 kids are able to fire a simultaneous attack with Green's Blastoise, Blue's Charizard, and Red's Ivysaur, which actually evolves into Venusaur during the attack. This combined elemental strike causes Zapmolcuno to separate back into the original birds, and they fly off back into the wild. So there we have it. That concludes the insane true story of Zapmolcuno. Let me know down in the comments below if you liked this story format video and if you want to see more, whether official stories or ones that I have come up with myself. And if you enjoyed this video and want to see some more of my Pokemon content, I recommend this video here. All right, that's all I have for now. So until next time, Pokemans, gotta catch them all.